All right. Hey guys, it's showtime according to our thing here, 8 o'clock. Um it's Wednesday. I wasn't on here yesterday because I was at the car dealer actually, and I didn't really plan on that. Um Appreciate everybody being on here. I'm gonna, give it a minute. Or you watching, if you don't watch live, maybe you'll watch it later. And I appreciate you being on here. I'm gonna maybe make this short. I don't know. It just depends on if I get anybody that asks questions and all that. So again, I wasn't on here yesterday. My normal Tuesday night is what I try to do at 7:30. Here we are on Wednesday at 8 o'clock. It's just been like a busy couple days here. Usually, and I've talked about this before. Usually after the show, I usually take Mondays off to try to put things away. Hey man, hey Greg, how are you doing? And I usually try to take Mondays off till I can put things away for the show and rest a little bit and kind of regroup and catch up on my maps and stuff like that. I try, not to work, but anyway. And then on Tuesday, I get back into it and figure out game plan for the weekend or the next show, whatever that is. In this case, it's Ocala this weekend, and convention comforts. Lisa Oliver got her page back. She's back on. Awesome. Okay, cool. Thanks for coming out. And convention comforts will be at the show this weekend in Ocala on Sunday. Our final final toy show event of the year. Okay, final toy show event of the year. The Santa gift show, which I'll go ahead and put on the screen here. Santa Super Gift Show will this is going to be ramped up very quickly. Okay, I'm just letting you know. Okay, I haven't posted a lot about it, but I think I've got it figured out, and we've got guests and all that. So you're going to start seeing a bunch of stuff on that. But anyway, Ocala is our final toy event, toy focused event of the year, because the Santa show is going to have toys, and it's going to have we're going to have toys, and we're going to have a bunch of other stuff. So I want to have like some crafter people there. I want to have some people that that sell different things that aren't toy comic related. And then we're gonna try to have some gift wrapping and stuff like that. This is the Santa show. So, but this show, and usually, guys, I usually do I think I usually do a Star Wars GI Joe show in December at the VFW. I'm skipping that this year. There is somebody else doing a show over in Apopka, I think. I think they're. I'm not. I don't have the flyer in front of me, guys, but it's like a 30 South GI Joe show, but I think they're adding other toys to that. And they're at over in Apopka. So that's a December 8th, I think. I haven't posted it because I don't want to get people confused that it's another show of mine. I fully support those guys having the show. I may even go to the show depending on when the date is, because I'm planning on visiting some other shows that aren't in Florida. So I'm going to be going to this thing called Cajun Con, which is this guy. If you've met him, I don't think I'm big enough for him. Maybe, I don't know, the guy. I have talked to him on Messenger, but he's like a Scooby. He does like a Scooby voice. He's got a huge booth at all these shows I see him. Sorry, I'm kind of bad with names, unless sometimes I've had a lot going on, and even in the last half an hour, I've had a bunch of things like people message me about things that are not related to this video. So or the show or anything. So it's very, very odd. So had some updates on free play. I was planning on bringing games to Free Play Florida next week. Some things have changed there. I'm still going to bring games. If you guys are going to go to Free Play Florida, that is next weekend. And then had some changes on that, and anyway, so sorry, this isn't about, I'm not as organized as I want to be, just because honestly, I've been for the last not 24 hours, but I would say yesterday I went to I was putting actually just to give you guys a quick story, and then I'll get into the show stuff a little bit more. Yesterday, Sean, my buddy Sean here, was here with me, and we had bought, I don't know if you guys remember, but I had bought a video game last week in Georgia, and I've been looking for this game for a long time, but every game that was a skateboarding game called 720. And we went and got that, and it was in the trailer. It was even in the trailer when we were down in South Florida this last week, because it's heavy, and it's, and the trailer isn't really tall enough. The one I have isn't tall enough. And anyway, so it was in there, and Sean had gotten sick, whatever, right after we had gotten a flu. There was a bunch of people that have gotten a flu. We've had a rash of cancellations at the last couple shows of people having the flu. So right before the show. So we've had to do some maneuvering around and everything the last couple of weeks. Well, he had gotten sick, and so we couldn't get the game out of the trailer. So we were doing that yesterday, and we were getting ready to repack the trailer. And then I decided, okay, it was yesterday afternoon. And as you guys know, I have mentioned this, about getting a new car. And I've been trying to get, my original idea was to get a Gallardo, and I'm here to tell you guys, this whole exotic car thing, even if you can afford it, which, I guess it was a stretch, but, there's things at all price points. Okay. I didn't spend more on the car that I got than I would have on the Gallardo. So, it's just a pain in the butt. It's not set up for you to go and buy. Okay. They're not set up for you to go and buy. It's just a giant pain in the butt. And I'm used to, when you go and you buy something that is expensive, or a car, you usually get service, from a dealer or a salesman or whatever. They take care of you. They want your business, and they want to figure out how they can put you in that car. Okay. And that's not the case with these exotic cars. Okay. They are completely opposite of that. They are like, hey, okay, well, we've got this car, and, if you bring us some money, we'll sell it to you, basically. And then, email me, nobody answers the damn phone. Nobody, you fill out a form, and nobody gets back to you. It's like renting a hotel ballroom. You got to follow up with the people that are selling you this thing. It's like, give me a break. And then I had some issues with my own other car. And so that kind of put me in a place where I just really wanted something. I really need, and I'm not trying to bore you guys with this, but I just needed something that I could get in and go, because I need to get to these hotels. Now I got to expand we've had some issues in Orlando with just follow up with these hotels, and I just got to be way more aggressive on closing these dates out and visiting these places and stuff. And I can't have BS, with repairs. I've got 3 vehicles, and they're all of them are being worked on right now. So or need work. And so I got this new car. So anyway, I've been working on a new car, a major car, of some kind for the whole year. Basically, I had a goal by the time my birthday comes around, which is next month, that I was going to get something substantial, something that's another level for me. Okay. So that was my goal for the year, and so yesterday I said to Sean, I said, hey man, let's go over and look at these stingrays or whatever. I had this idea that I had this idea that I was going to try to get one from out of state, and all that. And then I went there and I never expected to buy anything. I just was like going to talk to the guy, how do I get this car and this specific color that I wanted, the color scheme and everything. And next thing you know, I was like, test drive, and then I ended up buying this car. And so you guys saw some pictures of it yesterday. And this was it was parked out here in front of Stingray. It's this Roswell green, which is really, it doesn't look very on here. It doesn't look really light, but the color changes based on the sun. This is the app that I was just floored. I mean, to me, I mean, a lot of people have these cars, I mean, I know everybody has, their SUV or whatever, but and maybe it's not a big deal to other people, but it's a big deal for me because I'm just going to come back to you guys, and it's a big deal for me because when I started this toy show business back in 2019, I had a pickup truck that me and my wife had. We had a car. We were working on getting this house that we live in, actually, and so we weren't financing almost anything. And I had like a $2,000 like S10, like my 1990 S10. I think I had about $4,000 into that truck, and I ended up selling it to somebody, a vendor, which they sold it now. But I wish I really had that truck still. But anyway, that's what I started with. I started with nothing. Okay, basically nothing. And to be able to go into a dealer and be able to buy a new Corvette, which this is only my second new car in the world, okay, that I've had in my life. So this was a big deal for me. And so anyway, I didn't get out of there till like 8 o'clock, or whatever, and then when I got up this morning, I worked on the show, and then I went for a drive with another friend of mine in the car, because I had to take some paperwork back because their computers were all screwed up, and or they weren't working correctly, where everything was online and signing online and all this stuff. They had to print it all out. Anyway, I had to take some paperwork back to them, and I did that. And so so that kind of messed up my normal, like, let's say, work schedule here. So I did get the car, and I'm just like super happy about it. Let me just let's see. So they cleaned it up for me here, and I took a picture of it when I came out. Again, it doesn't do it justice on the color, because when the sun hits it where it's not shadowed, it's just an amazing. It's a big deal for me. So again, I appreciate you guys being on here, and I'm not trying to bore you guys with this stuff. It's just the toy shows, vendors, customers, and the shows are the reason why I have anything. Okay, any of this stuff. I mean, I had a collection before I started, but this is all these things are and so this is because of you guys, the vendors that support our shows, and our vendors at the show, and then the customers. And I mean, we've had over we've had over, with kids, probably over 25,000 or more people that came to our shows this year. That's kind of what roughly so the idea that I mean, it's just amazing to me, the things that we've done. I mean, and up here in the last 6 years, because we've been running for 6 years, for about 5.5, really. My first show when I started on there posted it was April 2019. So, I mean, what we've built here in the last 6 years is just amazing. It helps people. It's not just about, I mean, it's not only about the customer that's coming in to buy and find something. It's about also the families and the people that actually are the sellers of this stuff. And some people come in and they'll make a whole month's wage by buying and selling it, in 2 weeks or one weekend, or whatever. The way that I look at this is I'm enabling people to, I'm helping people. I don't just have a store or whatever. I'm trying to help people in all different things, like, in the treasure hunt, and then the selling, buying and selling. I love putting people together so that they can get what they want. So, but anyway, this is, again, I'm kind of rambling here because I don't have this written down. It's just kind of what I'm feeling right now. So, okay. So let me go ahead and get into the show, here a little bit. This last weekend, this last weekend, I didn't take any pictures. I didn't go live. Maybe I should have done that. We were in Green Acres and we had an amazing show. Some of you guys, now I'm just going to show some old pictures here just so you guys can get an idea of what the building looked like. And this isn't the show the other day, but this is a similar show. Okay. It's the same building. Okay. And basically, I mean, it was just as good as this show, I would say. Right, Lisa? So this weekend whereas what was cool was, hey, Mark, nice to you just show up, join us here. We had more people than we had in March, and probably close to what we had in January, whereas the previous 2 weeks in Tampa and in Port St. Lucie, those were down about 100 or maybe a little bit more, 150 maybe people per show, whereas this one was just as much. Did we beat March there?
Yeah, we beat March's numbers.
Okay, all right. So maybe we were close to January then. We don't have the number right now, but basically we had a really good show this last weekend. So there's really nothing. I didn't have because I had the game in the trailer. I didn't have my blow up sign, and we didn't have some signage. But it was still a good show. I know Lisa was here. We missed you, Greg, and stuff. But Lisa was there for the first time. Hopefully she did okay. And then we had a lot of, and then that show in March, we're going to be back there. I'm going to go ahead and bring up the schedule here. So in March 8th, we're going to be back at the Polish Club in Lake Worth. And that is basically almost sold out, because what I do at the end of the show is I go and I ask people, do they want to rebook for that thing? And then whatever I have left, I sell now to other people. So I think we had most of the show rebook. So that's, that'll be in March. And then in January, we'll be in Coral Springs, which are going to be ramping that up here. I've got some applications that I need to approve. Same thing with Fort Myers. I just sorry guys, I've been behind doing these events, doing the ones that are previous to now. So, and making sure that we got our ads running and stuff like that. I am going to try to over a break, because we're going to have a little break. Hey, Mike, you're going to be Mike's going to be sells games and stuff. And he's going to be at the Ocala show. I think I may have shared his stuff today. But anyway, so over the break after Ocala this weekend, I'm going to be working on a bunch of stuff, just to get reorganized and everything. That's why I didn't book something else in December, or the reason why I didn't book Coco for the end of November is usually the attendance is a little light, and then the other reason is I think that I'm ready to reorganize. I want to get some. I've got some helpers, some new help that wants to come in, and I want to get them kind of acclimated to what we're doing. And oh yeah, awesome, great. Glad. Hopefully you got some people are gonna know that you're there. Um, and and so yeah, so I just think we need, I honestly, I'd have to go back and figure out how many shows we did. I know we did at least 20, I would guess. So I'm going to say that we made, with the Star Wars, we probably did maybe 22 or so, because we're not doing Coco and stuff, but I'd have to go back and look. Okay. And but I'm looking forward to a new year, and we're gonna do better next year. I don't know if we'll do as many shows as we did this year next year. Because I think I found my limit this year. Unless unless we get the help and this and that. Because 4 shows and 4 weekends in a row is not really what I want to do. The best, the what my goal is on my personal level is to try to do 2 shows a month somewhere, whether it's here. We are going to be changing some company stuff around. I'm going to be creating a new page. I'm not going to get into the name of that yet, but because we're gonna be getting more serious on our side, on a business setup side and everything, because I just said that we're doing 20 to 30,000 visitors a year at our shows. I realize that for Mark Moriarty, that might be just an afternoon at Universal, but for me, that's a good amount of people, even over the course of a year. So,
I think we did 4 shows 3 times this year.
yeah, and we're gonna do it again at least twice. So April will be full, and July will be full 100%. So,
Well, it was April, September, and November.
yeah. And I have vendors that want me to do more stuff, and I'm fine, but I think I found my limit at 4 in a row. So that is it. But we have some help coming in. My buddy Sean Wolf has been doing, I call him number one or whatever, or whatever, sidekick, whatever. But he's come on with me, and he's kind of moved up toys full time, and then he's helping me with the shows, and he's done an amazing job. He'll be there this Sunday to open the show. I'll be coming in a little late on Sunday, but we're kind of testing some new stuff here this weekend. But anyway, guys, so again, Ocala is this weekend. This Sunday, it's the final toy show of the year. Okay, final toy focused regular Florida toy shows. Yeah, that's right, Mike. And I'm just saying, we've been working. I've been working. So it's time to regroup and get things together. But we're gonna do this last show this Sunday. We are already set up to do Ocala in June. It's not on here, but we are set up to do Ocala in June again. So the next date was when I did a contract for this show. I also did one for June 16th, I think it is. It's like middle of June. So we'll be here then, and then the next Ocala will be in June of next year. Okay. And thanks, Mr. Wolf, with the 2 F's. Yeah. And Sean started out as a vendor too, actually. And again, he's been doing a great job. and he's just killing it out there. He's as they said in Fast and Furious, he's hungry. That's what we've been talking about. So tomorrow we'll hopefully be riding in the vet and stuff. He's working on a lot of stuff for me and other people. So anyway, so we'll be in Ocala again this Sunday. Final deal, 9 to 4, opening at 9. We're in the ballroom there at the Hilton, Ocala Hilton, and this is it for 2025. And then we're gonna have the Santa show, which I'm gonna be focused on. Basically, from here on out, is going to be the Santa show. I'm going to be posting more stuff for Ocala this weekend, and I'm going to be working on the other shows for January and stuff. But my focus now is going to be moving toward, getting the Santa show. I did go to, I will say, and I'm not bad. Okay, so I want to talk about the Christmas show I did go to this weekend, because I came up with this Christmas show. I love Christmas. That's my favorite holiday. It doesn't look like it because I would have, Christmas trees already up, but I was like pretty, but I didn't see not one toy in this place. Okay, I might be lying. I think I saw a teddy bear. Let me just see. Well, first of all, let me just see if I have pictures of this Christmas show. Yeah, I'll go ahead and this was I'll show you this cool booth. Okay, so no, that's not good. All right, I'll just make myself small here. Okay, guys, this was some crazy Christmas trees here. Okay, but most of this stuff was clothing and stuff. I'm not hating on it. I just took some pictures of some other booths. These blankets were kind of cool. These paintings were cool. The guy took pictures of the artwork, but some of this stuff I would have at the show, and some of it I wouldn't. This was like a lounge thing they had. I was like kind of impressed. And then this was the coolest booth that I saw. Look at it. Okay, so they had some teddy bears to buy, and look at that thing. I thought I was going to see Santa. But no, it was sweaters and trinkets. I didn't see any. There were no toys at this show. There was not a one. Oh, there was like maybe a teddy bear, like I said, at this Christmas show. So I don't know. Maybe people don't care. Maybe people. It was a market. Okay, when I say Christmas show, it wasn't Christmas show. It was a market, and I guess that's what we are, is a market. But Christmas, you think there's going to be some toys. There wasn't any. Anyway. All right. So okay. So we're just to give you guys again. I'm going to go through real quick the schedule. This was made a couple weeks ago, actually. So we've got Ocala, and then we got the Super Santa show, and that's going to be the end of the year. And then we may have a Christmas party for vendors at this event. I haven't figured that out yet, but I'm hoping to be able to do that, kind of like we do in August. Coral Springs, everything has openings right now. The Daytona is probably going to be rescheduled because somebody decided, oh, hey, Jeff's having a show in January. I'm probably being facetious here, but I'm sure the guy didn't do this, but sometimes I do think people do this, but they go, oh, Jeff's having a show. Well, I'm going to have the show at the same place, at the same location, even though he's not that, whoever that is. I'm not hating on him. I don't know him. They're a card show. We're not a card show. So we do have cards, but we're not a card show. So anyway, this is going to be, I'm probably just going to basically refund. I have like 2 or 3 people that I need to, that stuck in, and I need to get a hold of these guys. I got to work on Orlando too, because there's no you don't see any Orlando in here right now, but I got to work on that. So these are stuff that I've got. I've got a whole bunch that are in stone already, but I got to come back to Daytona and come up with a better date because, somebody has just went in and created a car show, and I don't think I really want to be at that place when they're running a card show already. So anyway, that's my fault, and nobody else's. I just didn't, yeah. Anyway, so okay. So again, I appreciate everybody being here. I'm gonna probably go live on my normal page with my car just to kind of maybe tomorrow. I might post it to the toy thing. One thing I did get, which I want to show you guys, and you guys might say, oh, well, I'm not gonna even mention that. I'll just show it to you. All right, now, so again, I didn't plan. I had a goal by the end of the year, but I didn't plan on buying a car yesterday. I just basically went in there, and I've been saving money for that specific thing, and I've been working on credit and all this stuff that it takes to get a car. And I've been working on that for months basically. And even though, well, anyway, and I'm driving my wife nuts about talking about cars for the last probably 2-3 months. And anyway, but usually I try to buy one thing at the show, at every show. And in this case, Jesus, I don't know if he's watching or he'll watch this. Our friend Jesus Brito, who will have all 93 or 96 or whatever Star Wars figures at the show this weekend. Okay. He did have them all out there, and he's got doubles, so he can, so he'll have every figure of the original Kenner line for you to buy. Okay. Available and he works with the on prices and all that stuff. So I went by him on Sunday, and I said, hey, do you have, because I have a bunch of Star Wars now. I said, I was joking around with him. I said, hey, do you have a double, a DT Luke Skywalker, a double telescoping Skywalker? He said, yeah, I do. And anyway, we got to talking, and we made some kind of deal on it. So I ended up getting this at the show this last weekend, and I couldn't believe it. I mean, last time I went to Chicago, and I didn't even know what one of these were. So anyway, it's got this longer pull out thing. Let me just pull it out a little bit longer. Sorry, you guys probably don't care, but I thought it was super cool. Kind of highlight. I did get some Hot Wheels, a couple of Hot Wheel Porsches. I think one of them is green. No, it's blue green. So I did get that too. So I got a couple of things. I usually try to buy at least one item, one thing at the show. So whether I got stuff previous week or whatever, I still buy stuff. So that's why I created the shows originally, was to buy, to collect, to make it so I could buy toys. Basically, that's the whole reason I created the shows originally, and then it turned into a business. So anyway, guys, I appreciate everybody being on here. We are going to be back on Tuesday next week is the plan. Tuesday 7. Oh yes, thank you, Diana and Jesus. I appreciate that. I'm still amazed that you guys had it, but you'll have all the figures this weekend, and Jason will be there. I need to get Jason to send me some pictures so I can post those tomorrow, and hopefully we'll see August maybe in Lakeland, for sure Sarasota. Congrats on your recent anniversary at your job and all that. So appreciate you guys all again coming to the show, being a vendor, joining us on this video, taking part of the shows. I every day I feel blessed to be able to have be able to do this for a living. And so I appreciate all you guys. I really want to get on here and do more videos. And I'm going to try to do that. I'm going to do for sure do it in the new year, but we're going to do it more here too. Thanks again for watching, guys. Have a good night, and we'll see you at Ocala, or we'll see you next Tuesday right here, but same bat channel. All right. And the time. All right. Bye now.